Hello. So this is it. The live, unfiltered, unapologetic, 100% real interview with Ipswich Town owner BERKE Bakay. A really, really exciting piece of content for me to create. This is truly uncharted territory. We're walking on unbroken ground. This is the first time I can remember a co-owner of our football club meeting with its own fans in its own environment on its platform. When I say it's unfiltered, it's because it truly, truly is. I know what questions may come up this evening. BERKE doesn't. BERKE has not been given any questions. He's not been prepped in any way by us. This truly is live, unfiltered, co-owner meets fans. I'm really excited, as you can tell. And, we're not journalists. Our paychecks aren't on the line. Our careers or reputations aren't on the line. What you will see will be fans speaking from the heart. There'll be a chance for fans to come on and have their say, as always, in this show. It's what we pride ourselves on. But this is something from the heart. And hopefully what you will hear could be cries of the heart after the last 13 years of absolute neglect. It could be knowledgeable, insightful questions that are answered by the ownership of this football club. Or it could be joy. Fans just rejoicing in the change and the excitement and the vigor that's coming to this football club. Whatever it may be, it's talking town at its best. It's unfiltered, unapologetic, and it's live. Let's do it. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to our live interview with Ipswich Town FC co-owner BERKE Bakay in association with AwayDays Beer. Head to awaydaysbeer.com, all one word, to pick up their fantasy fridge pack. Only $13.99, 6 beers. You've got Swapsies, Wayne Bruni, Liquid Football, all sorts of absolutely wonderful beverages to choose from. I will be recommending it to one of our co-owners. I am supping a little bit of ale this evening. Hey, it's talking town. As I say, we're unapologetic, we're unfiltered. This is what you see is what you get. And I believe they're big fans. So, fingers crossed we can make some impressions on BERKE this evening. Welcome one and all. I can see the chat is already flying about. We've got Cruncher saying, call those Jets from behind the blue room. Curtis, couldn't be proud of the platform. We've got Callie, King Callie. Can we ask him the correct pronunciation of his name? We can. I'm going to get it wrong every time. I just know I am. Russell, welcome in. Evening all. Well, an owner of the ITFC fan answering fan questions. A new era, great to see. Absolutely. And joining me on this journey is, of course, two wonderful people. First of all, let's bring in our very own corporates. Corporate crunch meets the corporate world. Where's your suit and tie gone?
Yeah, well, this is what he needs. We need to get one of these to BERKE. Look, he's not for me. I'm quite nervous. I'll admit, everybody, I'm quite nervous tonight, and I'm not normally nervous doing this, but this is a step into the unknown for me.
Sweat it. Don't worry, you've got BERKE live here, and you've got all the rest of the game changers watching from around the world. Don't worry. All right, they're all going to be tuning in because they love a bit of BERKE. So, you've got one of them here, but they're all watching Crunch. Now how do you feel? Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Stephen Parry. One other thing to see, not Sonona, but real football fans talking to fans as fans. And Johnny Duncan, massive creation in 12 months, lads. Well played. Glad to be part of it. Absolutely. Adam Flatt, he's bringing Drogba. Drogba. That could be a huge, huge thing. Let's bring in media mogul Matt Phipps. He wanted no fanfare this evening. Mogul, how you doing?
No music.
Good, thanks. I was just thinking, a year ago we started with about 5 people watching us. Then we did a show where we didn't press live, so we had no one watching us. And now we've got a co-owner of Ipswich Town joining us.
Come on, he thinks we're pros, Matt. He thinks we're pros. Don't tell him we've done a show without recording it.
If he's been watching us for a while, they know we're not pros. They know well this ain't a pro show. Matt, I know you're a big lover of AwayDays beers. Give them a quick plug, my man.
Yeah, look, so they're sponsoring the show tonight. Fantastic. I've put my order in. They've got an ITFC Legends pack, Hoppy Robson, The Beat, to name but two. They've run out of Pablo Pale Ales, or whatever it's called. Run out of the Pablo one. So I've had to bring in a substitute. But yeah, looking forward to it. It's only like 20 quid with delivery. Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a new one coming out. Star Spangled Tractor.
Yes, of course. And we have Mass Creations, a web bespoke company in Bury St Edmunds. If you go to them for any of your website needs, you can quote Talking Town, get 10% off. Yeah, absolutely. They had a big part in the Terrace Life mugs. We've got Aaron in the gym, but had to tune in for this. Absolutely love that. Victoria Henderson and her ripped jeans. You've done great, guys. Proud of you all. Victoria, you're part of it as well. George Nunn has created all of the overlay you see here. It's a special overlay for a special show, of course. Been an absolute privilege to be a small part of this platform, chaps. This is a great testament to all your hard work over lockdown. Right. This is Talking Town. We do things one way and one way only, loud, brash, and in your face. So, of course, he's got an intro. Ipswich Town coroner BERKE Bakay, welcome in.
Hello. I like your style.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've all been collectively bricking it this all day, but we're here.
He just needs a nickname now, BERKE. So if anyone in the chat can come up with a nickname in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
My good friends call me BB, so with my initials off, yeah, BB.
Maybe it is.
Love it. We've got an early question here. Daniel Hill, can we get any WWE at Portman Road? I mean, Daniel's going in straight with can we get a striker? Can we get a scoreboard? No, can we get a bit of James Norwood versus The Rock at Portman Road?
I'm not your guy for that one.
Great question, Daniel. That's what we're going to get from Talking Town community. Okay, this is what we are, as you know.
I wasn't expecting that first question.
No, was I? First of all, talk us through your memorabilia in the back there. We are a big shirt collector. Well, Cruncher's a big shirt collector here. What have you got there behind you?
Yeah, that's numbered. That's Didier's first year at Galatasaray, which is my hometown club, born and raised in Istanbul. So he's typical number 11 was given to Albert Riera that season. I don't know if you guys remember him, but next year he switched with him, so he got the number 11. But that's his original number 12, and he signed it for me, and with a very nice note there. You can't really read it, but that's that over there. All my offices, all my home, it's all full of jerseys, as much as my wife allows me to keep them around, but I have hundreds. I collect them. So
have you got any Georgie Hadji ones?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Hadji one.
I don't think Ipswich have ever played. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Ipswich ever played a Turkish club. Certainly not played Galatasaray, BERKE. So maybe you could sort that out pre-season.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Ipswich ever. I was thinking about that going back, and can't think of it. But I love the record at Portman Road of never losing. That's a pretty.
Yeah, proud of that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
We've got to get this question out of the way nice and early, because it's going to be asked sort of repeatedly throughout the evening. Is there any way you can convince Didier to come out of retirement, come to Portman Road? Because Drogba could still do a job in League One.
I haven't talked to him about it. I know the fans. I know the fans are tagging him and asking for it. Look, my personal opinion: if they were to do it, he'll probably destroy League One. I mean, I'll probably take over on 25, regardless of his age. He takes care of himself, and I seen him play. He's very close for a very long time. So
I actually heard, BERKE, that you were a decent striker when you were younger.
That is inaccurate information. that would be a dream of mine. I always wanted to be a professional football player, but I wasn't good enough. So that's not correct.
Oh, I was playing up front Saturday. We're struggling for goals.
Yeah, hopefully he's going to change that in the future. Sam Mabry, all the other owners' teams should do a pre-season at Portman Road. Yeah, nice little tournament there to be had. So instead of putting the Flames out there, Berkay's just put petrol on the Didier Drogba to town Flames. It's now going wild and out of control. Love that. Absolutely love that. So let's ask the very obvious. You've probably been asked about a million times this first question, but let's get it out of the way. Why we know why Ipswich Town because we chose it as well. But why did you choose Ipswich Town Football Club?
So there's actually a fairly easy answer to that. If you put yourself in my position, being a massive football fan, you put a lot of emphasis on, legacy, history, accomplishments, basically the DNA of a football club, its fan base, its home. Ipswich not only has all of this, but it also has the biggest disconnect between what it had and what it's going on today. So going from a record of European achievements, a UFA championship, and my team Galatasaray won that too. It's a big one. I mean, when you win a UFA championship, that's a big one. When you win a FA Cup, that's a big one. When you win your league, that's a big one. So you go from there to you sit as a mid-table League One club, and I think about this one too. You look at an experience, maybe let's say a 60-year-old football fan in Ipswich had in their 20s 40 years ago, won the UFA championship, and maybe they're talking to their grandkids that haven't seen anything or actually have seen things that are not good in last decade or two. And so when you get that disconnect, and when you an optimist like me that likes to work hard and has passion for the sport, it's going to be on top of your list. But to me, the fans and just the excitement that coming out of Portman Road and everything this club has achieved, it's 142 years of history, and what it can get to, and the opportunity was the reason.
Love that. Love that. There's honesty, transparency, and passion. Love it. BB is the man. Mark Jubb, Ipswich Galatasaray pre-season friendly. With your connection.
Yeah, I can do that. We can get that done probably.
I like that.
Yeah, pretty close with Mr. Terim, our head coach, and pretty close with the president and the board members there. So probably can get that done. But we gotta ask our CEO, and which I can't wait for him to get started, and also our head coach and manager Paul. So we'll see if. But I mean, those type of things, we can certainly get it done, and I think it'll be amazing.
Hey, and that leads on to a question we had from one of our monthly contributors, Lewis, who asked, do you see an opportunity to take the ITFC brand into Turkey through your contacts? But not talk about getting us into America, but how would you imagine Town going into Turkey?
Yeah, I think so. And the best way to get that, look, there is, Galatasaray is a top 10 social media in the world as it comes to football clubs. It's within the top 10 in the world, has 30 million very passionate fans just around Turkey, and allegedly the number is close to 100 million around the world. So you get some kind of a friendly going, then you essentially are in Turkey with Ipswich brand, and everybody will buy the jerseys, will support it. It'll be their second club, and as much as I got the warm welcome from Ipswich Town fans, you'll get the similar one in Turkey. And the fans out there, they like me too, so we can probably get something going, because I'm one of them. So I grew up in the stands over there. And
obviously, go on.
Are you one of the ultras, Berkay?
Yes.
Matt's a big ultra fan. B's a big fan, aren't you, Matt?
I remember we had a show in the UK, Berkay, called Football Factories, which was hosted by a guy called Danny Dyer, and I think he went over and he went to like Galatasaray versus Fenerbahce or something.
Watched it.
You seen it, yeah? Crazy.
Incredible. And just look, as long as it stays in the top level of passion, but also with all the safety that everything comes around it, that's where the beautiful game shows up, right? I mean, as a kid, I remember being a being in middle school and, being 12, 13 years old and getting off the school bus and going to Ali Sami Yen to watch the Roma match, I don't know how many dozens of European Cup games that I went to. It's an incredible experience. And you can't, and you never forget it. Like the smell of the food and, it's been 30 years, but I still remember it. And I go back every year, now we're in a different stadium. It's not the same. It's twice as big. It's 55,000 people, but those 28,000 when I was growing up, that just was tight. And
I always remember Man United when they used to go there in the Champions League, and it was like when that is welcome to hell, and you've got all the flares and everything, and I'm thinking, my Lord, this is absolutely crazy. It's a bit like that at Portman Road when we play Norwich, isn't it, guys?
Exactly. That's what we need to bring back, Berkay. We need to bring back that Ipswich Norwich game, the East Anglian derby. It's a big game,
I'm reading and learning about the history. I think that's at Ipswich. It's our version of Galatasaray Fenerbahce. I think there is no loss. It's between the fans.
Yeah, so they're ahead of us at the moment, but we can chase them down.
Yes,
yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the CEO. Then obviously, playing Galatasaray would almost be an indication that we're moving in the right direction. But to get there, you've got to go through some stumbling blocks. I'm going to ask a sensible question, other than the wrestling one. What are the strategic priorities for the next 6 months?
Yeah, on the pitch performance. There's a lot of things when you get into a football club and you need to address, including, your facilities and, the fan experience and the commercial revenues, anywhere from sponsorship to, just monetizing any of the opportunities so the team has resources for on the pitch performance. But everything you do around a football club, at the end of the day, you need to perform on the pitch, right? So the first priority across the board for everyone is how do we? It's I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's just been very painful to watch it.
You're telling me.
No, again, I want to be sensible. Just being the new guy, I don't want to pretend like but it's been hard to watch. And so how do we empower our manager that hadn't had a chance to put his own team with have an incoming CEO and set that vision and empower them to be able to put something on the field that can get results that everybody can be proud of, and it's attractive football. We can all enjoy it, watching it. I think, that's certainly. And by the way, they're all the same thing. Without attractive football and without winning, nothing. That's without it. I'm not sure what you have. Mm-hmm. So in order for it to be a good business as well, you need that. You need to address that. So very clearly, that's the priority. I can't wait for Mark Ashton to get going, and just can't wait for helping to the extent that we can as board members, co-owners, etc., to empower them to get this thing done.
Mm. Yeah. What do your three-line colleagues, Berkay, what do they bring to the table? Tell us a little bit about Mark and Brett.
Yeah. So first and foremost, we're very close friends. I met Mark Debner because our kids used to go to the same school. This has got to be 8-9 years ago, so we kind of meet in one of these parent deals, right? And we became really, really, really good friends. And not too much after that, I had a chance to meet with Brett Johnson, I talked to Brett, I don't know, half a dozen times a day, every single day of my life since we met. So I think there is a mutual respect between three of us. When you are so close, I think you can openly tell things when it doesn't make sense instead of worrying about like how is this going to make this person feel, etc. So
us three. It's a bit like us three, Berkay. We argue, don't we?
Yeah, there you go.
And talk half a dozen times a day.
There you go. So we're really close, and we're all as so Brett and myself, we're co-chairman of Phoenix Rising, and Mark is a board member of Phoenix Rising. So three of us, and with numerous other people, have put a lot of time, energy, and effort to take a club that had, I don't know. The first match that This is a story that I haven't shared, but I'll share with you guys. First match when I watched Arizona United, which is the predecessor version of Phoenix Rising, it had 100 fans in the game. It was, and I invited 100 of my friends, so we were 200 that day. And from there, we collectively built a stadium. We sell out ever since until COVID came. Yeah, every single match to a level that we're almost doubling our stadium right now. We're going from 6,200 to 10,500, etc. Which our season opener is on April 30th. It's coming up here in a few days. But from all that, and just bringing Didier into Phoenix, and it's just been an incredible experience, and it's a team effort. With that's why we call ourselves Three Lions. So they're gonna bring the same passion for football. They're gonna bring the business acumen. They're gonna bring dedication, expertise, passion, anything you want to see. I may be the more one channel one because I did not grow up in US. All I really care is football. Like I don't turn on baseball to watch, I just, I don't. So I'm a little more like, or, whatever you call it.
Tunnel vision we call it. Yeah.
Love it. So,
but there's a bit of an, could I just ask, there's a bit of an Ipswich link because you had Frank Gallup, didn't you, at Arizona?
Yeah, absolutely. So Brad hired Frank, and as to be our head of football operations and our head coach, etc. And then I partner up with Brad to get into Phoenix Rising, and we bring Didier and all of that. During that time we established a great relationship. I still talk to Frank fairly frequently. We see each other a few times a year in person, but talk on the phone more frequently. And actually, it was Frank Gallup who, in Atlanta, in a board of governors meeting, it must have been 3.5 years ago, when we were walking down the street, going to grab a beer. He said, "Hey, you should really look at Ipswich. It's because I see what you guys are doing here, and there's a massive disconnect between what the club needs to be and what is going on there right now." So Frank can absolutely take the credit for planting a seed, if you will. So that's that was a conversation that Frank and I had maybe 3.5 years ago.
He's been on the show as well. He's been on the show as well, BERKE, friend of the show.
Okay, great, wonderful.
Yeah. How quickly can we have co-branded Ipswich and Phoenix gear drop in the stores, BERKE?
Yeah, so I talked to our general manager in person on this topic 2 days ago, and given the fact that we currently we both work with Adidas, the ability to use the distribution networks and having product vice versa is something that we're looking into on our end. And as soon as, again, Mark gets into his seat, that's a problem. I mean, I get bombarded with fans, and what a great opportunity to be able to show some pride of both clubs, if you will. Let me tell you guys, and something that when we got into Phoenix Rising for the first time, and we have these bumper stickers that people put in their cars and with magnets, and some of them are just regular stickers. I never forget the first day I saw that. I mean, I almost broke down. It's an amazing feeling to see that, right? So if we can do that in an international level with both clubs being represented by fans, and both Phoenix fans are asking for it, Ipswich fans are reaching out and asking for it. So I'll get you guys with a precise date as soon as I know it. But on the Phoenix side right now, it's a priority. Just as soon as we have our season opener, get things going, move into our new stadium, we're gonna work on it to get it done soon.
Lovely new away kit. Have you seen it, guys? It's black. There's a white one, isn't there? I think is that the third one, the black one?
Yep, that's right. 3 kids,
Very
absolutely. Nice. And it was released 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you're certainly on top of it.
You obviously you mentioned the 3 lines there, and Mark is a bit of a real estate king. I've been told.
Yes.
There's talk about the cobbled stand. There's lots of questions in the chat about the cobbled stand. Any plans for either that stand or the stadium in general?
So let me tell you guys a challenge. Imagine buying a football club without being able to visit. I mean, how crazy is that? And that's COVID for you, right? The 14-month process, that's literally beginning of COVID to where we are today. So what I can tell you is all of us collectively cannot wait to get there and assess anything and everything that needs to be done. But without a question, our number one priority as ownership is the transfer. It's month of June transfer window. We're working on it right now. That's again, first priority is that, and certainly you're absolutely correct. Mark is a real estate expert. He'll bring a lot of value to that process, and love to get out there. Nothing like seeing with your own eyes on what needs to get done, and we're getting all kinds of feedback too, which is great, and we'll continue to get those. Let me ask you guys, what would you do if
a striker?
Yeah,
stop! My eyes are bleeding, Berkay. They're bleeding from the lack of goals. I want a striker. Full stop.
Listen, I mean, it's just unbelievable that the only teams that have a worse scoring record are the ones that maybe are going to be relegated. And I don't understand what's going on. It's but yes,
we do. Yeah. We do.
It's like Alfie Stewart was a scoreboard. I want a goal to put on the scoreboard first.
Yes.
You've got to put that. But
you've only seen it on TV, of course, okay, but it's a great stadium, Pullman Road.
Oh,
it's the same.
Incredible. I mean,
it's got character. It's not like one of these new builds.
No, it has
had it all that time.
Character. And I even remember it must have been, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe year 2000 on going up to Premiership right around that time.
Yeah.
I mean, energy in that stadium, etc., just leading up to it. And also the fans showing up in Wembley. I mean, it's just the fans deserve so much more. And that's the pressure. It's a good pressure, like I know how they feel and I know what everybody deserves. So as a human being, you always worry about, what if we can't give them what they deserve and need, but we'll try really hard, and we have a good track record of doing it at least one time. So that's I think that's a good start, and we have the best as a group.
We've got a worldwide fan base, and a fan base in this country that goes beyond Suffolk. And joining us now is one of our contributors, King Callie Bisler from Wolverhampton. So, Callie, welcome in. Callie Berkay.
Hello, pleasure.
Merhaba, I think I said Merhaba. Sorry, I'm just in awe, like sitting here listening to an Ipswich Town owner. I'm on the edge of my seat. So I'm loving the passion. I just got a couple of two real quick questions. I don't want to take too much time. And actually, I'm in Coventry now. I grew up in Wolverhampton, but I'm in Coventry, so I'm 30 miles closer to Suffolk. It's only 125 miles away now. But yeah, just a couple, two questions. First of all, three questions now. Because what is the correct?
How much you want, Callie?
I know what it's like when people mispronounce your name, so I want to know what is the correct pronunciation for your name.
No, it's, by the way, generally people are doing a pretty good job. It's BERKE BAKAY. My first name is BERKE, and last name is Bakay. So overall is it's pretty good.
Mine's not very good at names. Okay, he's not very good at names.
I can't do my own name, Barkay, let alone anybody else's. So we'll go there. Callie, second question.
So yeah, the second question is about just the team in general, just on field. So I've seen that you're on Twitter, you've watched a few of the games and everything, and as you've been saying, you've been watching some of the games anyway. Apart from the obvious of that, lack of goal threat, is there anything that stood out for you? So is there any positive you're looking at on the pitch?
Oh, so is the question? Wow. Okay. So I was disappointed in the sense that, anytime you go into a new organization, look, I know what we kind of inherited and what needs to be, so there's no surprises there. But it was a little bit strange to not see a reaction. Like usually when you have change in organizations, there is a little bit of a spark and all of that. I don't know. I mean, just what I can tell you is that I don't think it comes as any surprise that there will be a major overhaul, and the manager will be empowered to come up with his team so that he can perform. I mean, we have a manager that have multiple times moved up divisions, and he did it in a way that he won the entire thing without the playoffs, etc. So let's empower him, with whatever it is that he needs, and with the leadership of our CEO, and so that we're not at one of the lowest goal scoring teams in League One. The primary objective of this is, it comes as no surprise, we need to get Ipswich out of where it is currently as soon as possible. It's so unnatural where it is to sit for a European champions to sit on the third division in the mid-table. It cannot happen.
Yeah, I'm music to my ears, Berkay.
I like how he says the third division. I like how you say the third division.
One other thing I want to add. I say this with all humility, because it is so much easier said than done. It's, if it was automatic, a lot of money. And so it's not just everybody asks how much money you're going to throw. If money was the answer, we wouldn't be here to start with anyway, right? I mean, you would argue that it's not the only answer. The good news is we have the resources, but I think it comes with people as well. That's why Mark Ashton is a very key element to this. Hopefully we can bring some expertise from the commercial side of things, the real estate side of things, etc., like you have mentioned, global contacts on football players, etc., that could be a different dimension than what's going on currently. But really, the first job on hand is to get out of here. I mean, get out of League One and get into Championship. And one other thing I would add is there's some what I would consider unrealistic expectations. I mean, I'm looking at social media, seeing some things like, in 3 years we'll be in EPL. I mean, we
won't.
Yeah, not in 3 years.
We're going to the Super League in 3 years, aren't we?
Listen, I think Championship is a high quality football. I think it's a decent league with a lot of quality teams and organizations striving for the same goal. I mean, also don't forget about the ones that just dropped down that armed with the parachute payments, and all they want to do is come right back up. So the goal is absolutely we'll be restless until we get there, and I have dreams above and beyond that as well. But it's not a 3-year project. I want to make sure that I set that expectation. I don't think it'll be realistic to imagine in 3 years you're sitting in EPL. But I will tell you, this is speaking for myself, if we are not in Championship by the end of next year, it's a massive disappointment for me. It's that I will personally stick my neck out. I can't bind other individuals, but you can hold me accountable to that extent. It's because it's unnatural. Like, if we have the best people, best resources, what are we doing still in here and not moving this club a little bit closer to where it needs to be?
I'm loving this.
That means next year.
Okay, are we your biggest? If you've had to say, out of all your clubs, are we your biggest sort of challenge at this point?
Biggest challenge?
Yeah, biggest challenge. Yeah.
You cannot underestimate a major overhaul in a football club. I mean, because I don't think we're just talking about making a couple of changes here, right? So anytime you're making a big overhaul that way, the culture and the fit of players, I think that will be a challenge. But I think we have extremely qualified leadership in the organization to guide us towards that, right? That's the great news. But that is a challenge. How do you get a group of individuals and focus them on the goal so they're feeling they're playing for the badge. I mean, I remember back in the day, the football players, how they approached for the pride of the team. I mean, that's what will make me proud of if people gave everything, because you can ask more if people your players gave 100%. And, the ball, sometimes the way it bounces change things. We can't control any of that. But I think if the fans saw that, they establish a great group of team that is putting 100% on the pitch, then,
Does that surprise you, what you've seen so far, when you're saying about 100%, what you've seen from the players? Because when the new manager come in, and then obviously you guys have taken over, we all thought it was going to be better, and it hasn't been.
I'm very surprised with that. With a manager change and with an ownership change, I'm not sure if that doesn't, light a fire and get people a little bit acting differently or performing differently. But I don't know. I mean, we haven't scored a goal since this ownership change has happened, and that is a surprise. That really is. And we're not playing with Sunderland or we're not playing top table teams. We're playing at the bottom and scoring 3 goals on us, and just some really easy mistakes. And it almost feels like lack of excitement, lack of energy. I would have, again, the surprise factor to me is that I would have expected a different outcome from the same group of people, given the circumstances.
We all did, didn't we? Me and Matt definitely. When Paul Cook come in, we said he'll get more out of this bunch of players. Martin was sort of he liked the other manager, didn't you, Martin?
You're a stitch up, you. You're right. Miss. He liked the other manager, Miss.
No, honestly, me and Matt.
What's the last question, Callie? What's the last question?
So yeah, sorry. My last question, as Martin was saying about distance fans. So I live far away from the ground anyway, but I have a season ticket. Generally, me, like a lot of other fans, there'll be a lot of people there that probably on those Tuesday games you won't go to at the moment because they're physical cards. You've got to post it and all the rest of it. Is there plans to upgrade that kind of infrastructure so you've got digital things so you can do like swaps and those kind of things, make it very easy to give it to another fan?
Well, thanks for that feedback. So I wasn't even aware of that. So that's something I learn something every day, right? So I really appreciate that. All I can tell you is what we have done in Phoenix every single year was exactly what you're talking about, just making fan experience noticeably better year after year. So again, as I said, at the risk of repeating myself, I will tell you guys that first focus is, having a great football team that score goals and win football games. That will be the number one focus so we can get out of where we are right now. And the focus right after that will be on exactly an overall of how to improve fan experience in general and anything and everything. And for that, really looking forward to physically being there, because it's very hard for me to even, form opinions and ideas without being there. It's killing me. I can't wait for August to come around and just see it for my own self.
With the fan experience, sorry, Matt, the fan experience, are you still part of Kona Grill? Because I see you were the CEO and president, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I no longer am, but that was, I have another restaurant group now with about 50 locations in the state of Texas predominantly. So I have another group. I have some other restaurants in California, but I really shifted my efforts through last, I would say, 3-4 years, primarily on my original career, which is money management. I say my passion, in life is really football and stuff. I enjoy.
I've got a money manager. It's called the wife. She manages all the money as well.
I was going to say, Bakay, the performances on the pitch haven't been very good, but have you been impressed by Paul Cook's honesty in the interviews after the game?
100%, absolutely. Yeah, we're really excited, and this was reported accurately on the media. We had significant input on, Paul being the manager. So to that extent, we're very excited to be able to work with him. He cannot, in my opinion, be judged by anything that is going on right now. He needs to be judged by his own team. Let's give him his own team. Let him see how it performs. I think his track record speaks for itself, and I'm confident that he'll get us where we need to go.
Yeah.
What about his tone of voice, okay? Have you heard his tone of voice when he does the interviews, Paul Cook? Because he's got about 3 scales, hasn't he?
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes. But I think he's very candid. He's very candid and very. I mean, he doesn't really mince his words, and I think that you can visibly see that he's extremely frustrated. I mean, I think that will be an understatement to say that, right? So and he's trying everything. He's trying players, formations. I mean, it's not like he's just as an autopilot. He's trying.
In regards to getting performances back on the pitch better, how far is our recruitment net going to be? Is there a limit on it, or as Adam Flatt asks here, is it far and wide, UK, Europe, North America, etc.?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I would, have a better answer for you in the coming weeks. It's something that is being discussed right now, but I will tell you that there is some value in having more domestic players initially that really know and understand the football. I think there's a little bit more risk when you start flying people in around the world, and like what will be a really disaster, in my opinion, if you pull 10 people from different countries and try to take the risk of cultural adjustment and new home and being away from their families, etc. So I'll be interested to get the thought process of Paul and Mark on more specific to this. But I would not be surprised if you see a higher percentage of experience within Championship, League One, etc., of players that have done this before and know and understand the environment.
And obviously, we're a club that's prides ourselves on our academy. I've got a couple of questions here. One from New Gardner asking about the academy. I've got Alex Wilson who asks, are there any plans to build an academy complex that the players we bring in almost have the training facilities and living quarters in one place if needed? I know there's some places like that in America. What are the plans with the academy from?
Yeah, so look, academy is it's extremely important, and when I studied the history of Ipswich, there are periods of time that academy has been incredible support to the team in terms of number of players that it has provided. And so I can tell you that internally there's a strong desire and interest and attention to make that a core part of our strategy. And not ready to share the specifics on how we're going to be able to get there, but it's something that we talked long before we acquired the club on how that needs to be a central focus of what we're trying to do. And by the way, these are community. We talk, when you talk about football clubs, you guys call this owner, whatever. Nobody owns a football club. Fans own a football club, and it's part of the community. Like in Turkey, you cannot even own a football club. You can't physically own it. So I'm coming from a culture like that. So I look at myself as, I've been given the responsibility to take this to be. Thank you. But I'm responsible. I'm lucky and very lucky to be given the responsibility to contribute to the success of this football club that has 142 years of history, from going from A to B. And when we go to B, I need to feel good about the fact that I'm living in a better place than where I found it. That is incredibly important. So you tell me how we can accomplish that without academy, going back to your question, being part of this mix when you're talking about a community. We're talking about the sons of the fans. This is the folks that live in the city. I think that just creates even more of a success story, if you will, if you can incorporate an academy, a strong academy that contributes to the football club success on the professionals.
Have you got any other plans to get the community involved? What other plans, if any, you can share here today?
Well, we can't wait to really get there, all of us, in August, and get to be part of the community, meet folks, have a beer with you guys, and really do things. We want to at least donate some of our time and do some charity work in the community, and really looking forward to being part of it. This is, again, so hard for me to talk specifics when I have never been there, but I have only the best of intentions and desire to be part of it. That's all.
So this is great. When you're on about the fans own a club, and then you've seen this week with the European Super League, and you've got all of them owners, they've totally disregarded the fans, haven't they?
Did you guys see my tweet on that? Yeah.
We loved it.
So look, it's the words that I can think of when I saw this on Sunday night, 12 press releases coming all around, Europe. I said, they really overreached this time. This is like greed, like superstar greed, and it's they really, really did not get the input of their own coaching staff, own players, own fans. How in the world you can make a decision without understanding the ramifications of what the decision you're making is about to happen? So the reason they wanted to do this, they thought it's a good business, right? But first of all, I do really think that it's bad business, even if they pulled it off, because when you alienate 1 billion fans around the world, I'm not sure if those are the ones that are watching it on TV, buying tickets, buying jerseys, eating the hot dogs. I'm not quite understanding as a business person how that's going to be good news for you. Maybe it could be year one, but how are you going to, how are you going to tell West Ham, that even though they were working with 1/3 of the budget, but regardless of where they finished this year, they're not good enough because the football gods decided that Arsenal has an amazing place that needs to be in part of the top 12. It's crazy. I mean, this is just the bad U.S. habits, being translated into, where this sport was being born. And it's not even a fair comparison. You can ask me, well, why you're a part of something in U.S. that is because it is what it is. That's how it's set up here in U.S. It is what it is. I would love to have, promotion, relegation, go up and down and have that excitement. I mean, imagine being at Wembley and having, I think I'll have a heart attack watching Ipswich, on a playoff game.
See, that's what makes English football so great, doesn't it? The pyramid system that we've got, guys, that you can go up, you can go down. You got Leicester City a few years back, BERKE won the Premier League 5,000 to 1. And it's all about having a dream. And like when we had the takeover broke and we were live, weren't we, Martin? And then we done a show in the evening. I got quite emotional because Ipswich Town means a lot to me. It means a lot to these two guys and everyone out there. And it's a dream now that we're on a bit of a different platform now than we were start of the season. And then you're thinking, in a few years' time, we could get to the Premier League. And I'm not saying we're going to win it. I'm not putting no pressure on you or European Cups or anything. But it's a dream, isn't it? And this Super League, it's just like, I thought, no, I'm not having that.
I've lost a goal in like 8 hours, and you're talking about winning UEFA Cup games. It's like,
well, you were on about doing podcasts from Barcelona. You was on about doing it from the new camp.
Yeah, then they need to try ripping that apart. I'll tell you what, though, BERKE, I've got a man here. He's seen it all, and this man's seen it all. You love your community. You love the tradition. Colin has seen it all, haven't you, Colin?
Yeah. Hi, BERKE. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not so bad. Yeah, I was loving what you were saying about the academy, because I do go back, and I was thinking back to like the really early 70s when we brought through like people like George Burley, Eric Gates, Terry Butcher, Russell Osman, David Geddes. I could go on, and Kevin Beattie. I go on and on. And when you spoke about the academy, I thought, that's something really, really close to my heart. I've seen all the Youth Cup finals. I used to go and see lots of the games prior to the finals, because I've always liked watching youth football. And that was really something lovely to hear, BERKE. That's absolutely fantastic. But the first and foremost thing I'd like to ask you is, obviously, the team and the squad is the first and foremost thing for you and your guys, yes, because that is obviously the main priority. What's the main issue at the moment? Obviously, the stadium is not in very good condition compared to what it was, say, 20 years ago. But yeah, so obviously that's your main priority, yes, BERKE?
Yes, no, that's absolutely fair to say. To me, the number one glaring pain point is having Ipswich Town sit in the mid-table on League One. So that needs to change, and for it to change, we need to win football games. For that, we need to score, and go on and on and on. So I think that the primary focus is to improving what we have with our team, and just fix that as soon as possible. But look, everything going on with the stadium, everything going on with the academy, I mean, these are not less important issues, but from a priority perspective, we got a transfer window coming up, right? So the entire focus of the organization needs to be just that for now.
And like, as regards like the squad, I know this is $1 million question, BERKE. have you got any idea whatsoever how many players you're thinking about bringing in?
Colin.
Colin's got a wish list.
Colin.
You asking for specific names?
Sorry?
He wants their names, addresses, date of birth, national insurance numbers. He wants their lot. Colin, I really do appreciate you, man. I really do. That's brilliant. I've got another question, though. Colin,
you can't blame me for asking.
Absolutely not. No, I'm just conscientious of the time. Johnny Duncan asked, though, which is quite an interesting question. Would you rather have a 30,000 plus full stadium on lower cost tickets than a price point where half empty but revenue's the same? That's quite an interesting one. So would you rather have a packed house but cheaper tickets, or keep the ticket price the same and whoever turns up, turns up?
I would absolutely I would never trade anything for a packed stadium. So like that's, if you're asking me, that would be, again, I'm just, it's the 12th man, like the question has indicated. I have seen what it can do in real life all my life. And look, again, you're running a football club. You need to be reasonable and sensible. Obviously, as you know, fair play, salary caps, etc. All of that are function of revenue too. No matter what you may want to put from outside, you're limited as well. So you need to be generating revenue for the football club to be able to invest into the football club. So you need to, you need to be sensible about that. But for me, I wouldn't change anything for a packed stadium. I mean, if you ask that, that's an incredible feel.
Good man.
Okay, what do you think we can learn from your other passion, which is Galatasaray? What are they doing that we can maybe learn and bring to League One with Ipswich, do you think?
Okay, well, just like Ipswich, you have a big history, 1905, and it's a country that is obsessed with football, just like England. You got some major players, just like England. So there's incredible rivalries, etc. I think you already have a lot of these ingredients. I mean, you have this history full of success with winning. I mean, again, how many Premier League clubs are currently there that haven't won any European Cups? I mean, I don't know the answer, but there's quite a few, right? So I think you already have a lot of the history, but we need to be looking forward right now, and that's exactly where we're here, right? Like, what is this disconnect between what has been accomplished? Because what has been accomplished in the past, that's where the bar sits. That's why, as a fan base, you kind of sit there and you can't believe it. You're frustrated. You've seen all, but you're going forward. But I do think that Galatasaray has done a good job being a global fan base, and I think they did that with the success. I mean, the 2000s were really good when they ramped that fan base, winning UEFA Cup, winning Real Madrid. I mean, all these victories against either Manchester United or, again, beating Real Madrid when Didier was there a few years ago. You have, I mean, Jose Mourinho told Didier that he thought that they were, at some point, that game was going to be 4-1, and it was a very close offside goal. I mean, can you imagine Madrid losing a match at 4-1, etc.? So I think that you got a lot of the ingredients already here. You really do. I think we just need to get to work.
Redirect.
I know we've got 10 minutes left, so going to try and run through as many as we can in 10 minutes, BERKE. So hold on to your seat. First of all, Ben Adams, Milk Tray Man, we call him.
Hi, Ben.
Ben.
Hello, how you doing?
Co-owner of Ipswich Town Football Club.
Hi, BERKE. Firstly, I know time's running out, so I'm going to be swift. Firstly, pleasure to meet you. I just want to shout out to these guys, these podcasters here, in a year when we haven't been able to come to our hallowed ground, have been really monumental in connecting the community. I'd never met or heard of these guys before this year, and you're a really good company. These guys are who you're buying into, people that can connect around, and the community and the connections we have of little things like this. The fact that you can come on and be a part of it means the absolute world. I just want to say really thank you. Thank you for taking the chance with us. It's been a long time coming. We have renewed passion, renewed hope, and we really appreciate it. So thank you for kind of shining a spotlight on us for a change. I want to give you a little quick thing of what this community club is. I've been watching football. I'm 36. I've been watching since I was 5. I go with my granddad and my nan, who are in the 80s, since the 50s. I go with my dad. I go with my cousins. I go with my uncle. We were season ticket holders for 20 years until this all started to go wrong quite some time ago. Because of this kind of passion that you've shown, Bakay, and this kind of this vigor and the vision, we're all renewing our season tickets. And this is just our little group. We believe in what you're selling us, and we really like it. And I'm talking to my dad about, you know, this is going to be a great game. It's going to be, you know, we really want to go there every single game. We love this. This is a new era. This is a true new dawn, and I really love it. And this is a real family club. And if you can just do that to the family that I'm talking to, and we're all going to go together, I think there's going to be lots of other families out there who will be going to.
Oh, Martin's got himself on mute.
You're muted.
Put myself on mute. Terribly sorry. There we go. But we got the gist of there from Ben. We lost it.
Look, I got the gist of it. First of all, I want to say thank you, and it's very humbling. Look, we all have big dreams, aspirations, desires, vision, goals, etc. I think you need to have those, because if you don't, you're not going to get anywhere. You know. But what I can promise you is that we'll give 100% of our best ability to be able to move this football club forward. That's what I can promise. And fans, like when I hear stories like that fans, you know, renewing their season tickets that maybe otherwise wouldn't, and they're feeling the energy and the passion, and they're doing basically their part and being re-engaged with the club that maybe they were going a little bit distant. All it's doing is it's in a positive way, it's increasing the pressure. And, you know, again, just a perfect reminder of the responsibility of, you know, having a community club and having the responsibility of trying to take it from A to B. So I'm humbled by that. I know all my partners are as well. We understand the responsibility of what that brings, and we'll do everything. And we don't go away. I mean, even this 14-month transaction, we didn't go away. You know, we didn't just say, oh, it's taking too hard or taking too long. Or when I called Didier, the Phoenix Rising was a 3rd division club with playing to 100 people, and I didn't feel like embarrassed or like, oh my God, what is he going to say? Or like, this is crazy. We have big vision, and, you know, we will try to execute it. But it's, again, very important part of this is the team that we're creating also with the leadership of, you know, our CEO, Mark Ashton, right? I mean, it's we didn't kind of sit there and say, well, we did this in Phoenix, let's sit on our chair and try to, you know, manage something. It's very important to have the appropriate talent, and I can't wait for him to get started as well. But that feedback is amazing, really amazing, and I'm so humbled by it.
Hi, Curtis.
Hiya.
Hello. Hi, Curtis.
I think Martin's muted himself.
Martin, are you muted again?
I am. I've got big elbows. I keep knocking my wire. That's why. You see, you're seeing it all today. You see McDonald's Wi-Fi with Ben dropping out. You're seeing my big elbows in play because I'm not allowed a room of my own, Berkay. My wife won't allow me a room of my own. I'm just shoved in the corner and told to get on with it. But last question, Kurt. Time is running out.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, I'm very happy to meet you here, Berkay. Very, very happy to meet you. I've just got a couple of quick questions and a little anecdote. Now, the first question is obviously the many years recently, there's been many young fans like myself. I mean, I'm 23 years of age now. So, and they have lost a lot of hope going to Ipswich games, and maybe they've lost a little bit of faith in the team. And like the numbers of younger fans going to these games are starting to dwindle. So I'm just wondering, well, what would be your plans in regards to bringing the younger fan base back into the ground? The second one is in regards to our fantastic women's team that we also have representing town at the moment. I'm not sure whether you know much about them, but they've probably been the high point of this season for us fans, if anything. And obviously, I just want to leave on this little anecdote here. I brought up a few weeks ago that unfortunately, my father's not here anymore, but my father experienced the wonderful playoff final against Barnsley. And he spoke about how at the end of the game, there was thousands and thousands of Ipswich fans all like screaming, shouting together, singing, and people moving on up. And I do yourself, the Three Lions. This, honestly, is one of the best moments in terms of a younger Ipswich fan. These guys up above here, whilst you guys might realise what it means to you, I genuinely don't believe that you will understand what it means to every single one of us at all, because this is just unreal, and it's more than what we could have expected.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping for the best for you, honestly.
No, I really appreciate it. So first of all, again, anytime that so walking into this, I knew the power of and the reach of Ipswich fans, but when you get thousands of messages, I mean, it's thousands all around the world, and it's a reminder of the responsibility that we all have. We're going to do everything to be able to deliver on that responsibility, and we're going to work really hard. And because I'm a fan, because I grow up in the stands, I exactly know how you feel. And to answer your question, I was thinking about this the other day. You know, you're, let's say, a 60-year-old that when you were 20-year-old, that your team won a UEFA championship, and you're trying to now, maybe you have a few years later, you're trying to explain to your grandkids or even to your son, etc., that somebody in maybe your age that can't even relate, if you will, to what was that all about. So I think that is the massive opportunity. That is the reason why we are here. For one reason or another, we like the difficult, the difficulty of this, if you will. But when people ask me, and I keep repeating myself, this is important though, I think Ipswich Town has one of the biggest disconnects in at least in English football on what its history, heritage, what it has done, and where it is today. And if we can do anything to get that from point A to point B closer, that's going to be a massive, massive accomplishment. So I can't wait for it.
Perfect. BERKE, thank you so much. But I'm being told we're out of time. I'm being told I've got to stop you. Even though you're enjoying yourself, we've got to close it down. But no, it's been
it's been whatever the time it has been, I've been enjoying. So really, you guys have such a positive energy, and I've been listening to you guys, and it's an honor to be your guest and really be able to at least tell you firsthand on the way we look at it. But you should certainly get with due time with my other partners as well. They are the impressive part of the group. So that's you'll call me. My phone's always open to the Ipswich Town Football Club. But BERKE, a real honour.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much,
everyone, for watching. Don't forget AwayDays Beers, AwayDaysBeers.com for all your beer needs. Thank you so much. With God bless. Bye.